So I'm really feeling a little stressed. Shit, it might be a lot, but definitely stressed. Maybe some distress, but stressed. Needing to de-stress, absolutely. But yeah, and I've been going a few days or a week or so without being in my jacuzzi and stuff. So I know y'all see my hand and stuff moving, but anyway, um, I was getting ready to. Oh, I got that playing in the background. It's a story about the girl, about the dude who killed his 2 day old daughter and the baby mama. You know, by throwing the baby in the lake and stuff like that. I'm sitting here eating me some hot dogs. Yeah, I'm eating me some hot dogs, and I had just made some chili. I tried to do a recipe. It's got a little kick to it. It's good, but it's now I need to learn how to make like the perfect type of slaw. Um, but yeah, I'm feeling stressed because still seeing this car parked out in front of my house, and I know it's associated with the one who's been in my dreams and stuff like that. And I just feel like people trying to impose their stress or their issues on me. Like I'm telling you, just by parking over here, it's like you're trying to get my attention. It's like, oh, we know she get up. I'm saying what it's like. I don't know what it is, but we know she gets upset when we park over here or something like that. And of course, it don't have nothing to do with me. Like they've been doing that since I've lived over here, and it just So I do with that. I'm just gonna say I do thank God because I know me. If I would have lived somewhere else where that was going on, oh my gosh, the stress levels. And see, the last apartment complex I lived in, um, I used to park on the street. I ain't even park. I used to park on the street in front of the apartment building. I didn't even park over where the actual parking spaces are because sometimes I would get home late, and if I park over there, you never know if somebody be lurking, this, that, and the third. So I just went ahead and risk parking in front of the apartment complex. They just really should have had a better like parking lot that was lit up and stuff like that. But anyway, either way, I never had no issues over there. This was the last place that I stayed in before I moved here. And I said that to say, like the option could have been, of course, to stay in the projects. I mean, I'm like I always say, I'm in the hood, but I'm not in the projects, the apartments. That's all, or what's his name? I think his name is Banks or something like that. He be saying departments, parlay at departments. It's so funny to me. But anyway, yeah, so not, what I'm saying, not all up on each other or whatever. I'm actually staying in a neighborhood where I got a house, we have driveways, we have this, we have that. So I guess my prayer is still, Lord, that other vehicle that is parked down in their driveway, that it be removed. They got it there so they can always make it somebody feel like somebody's at home, but it never moves. So at this point in time, whoever is scouting y'all out, if that's the case, they should know that just because they see that don't mean somebody's at home. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if that's the case. But anyway, it's got my stress levels up to the point where I didn't grab me my little Jack Daniels down home punch. I mean, no, I'm not using that as an excuse to drink me some, but at this moment I just feel like it's Friday, I'm good, and let me just enjoy myself. Let me just try to relax. And especially go down good with my hot dogs which I done doubt killed. I had three of them. I'm about to show enough go get me a. I'm about to show enough go get me another one. Probably with just mustard though, without all the fixings and stuff. But it was good, pretty good. But yeah, feeling stressed. Um, because of that, and I am gonna put the screenshot of the car that's parked in front of the house up. And also just feeling stressed after listening to that story again. Like I try to avoid listening to some of this stuff now, especially when it come to a black male killing a black female. And of course they're black kids, you know, that's stressful. It's scary, it's creepy. Like I'm a black female with children. And, you know, regarding this story or whatever, I see how they said it was discussed previously that she was gonna have an abortion and then she decided not to, so and he was with somebody else, so he basically was just having sex with her and and for whatever reason, but they wasn't supposed to be serious or whatever. But then, of course, the time came where she decided she wanted to keep her baby. She kept the baby, and I mean, this man must have been business because the baby was. He was already plotting on how he was gonna get rid of that baby because the baby wasn't number two days old. So that right there just it bothers me or whatever, and just the fact that okay, you having sex with this girl, but you messing with another girl, or you interested in somebody else. Then they say he was married, but the wife was vouched that she wasn't really involved with him, so he was getting involved with somebody else. And I mean, you just never know what really be going on with people's stuff. That's why, and of course, the dude's name is the same name as my boy's dad, so of course, that added another type of layer of stress or whatever. But yeah, so it's basically stuff that almost surrounds him, my boy's dad, and like I don't even be trying to give him that much, you know, mental space or anything, emotional, anything. Like, no. I almost wanted to say go to hell, but I'm, you know, trying not to try to watch my tongue. But anyway, um, yeah, and because honestly, I said that to him before, and baby, after that, I went through hell, so and more. um, but man, just the whole thing, it's just crazy. But the fact that I had my first son, and I sat down and told my so called mom, I was like, I don't see no future with him because of what he was doing, just like that, some of that exact behavior, messing around with different females, this, that, and the third, not sitting still. And I knew that, but I didn't know the extent to what it was going, the extent to what it was, how it was going on, how much it was, how often it was occurring. And so anyway, and then at one point in time, I felt like, oh, because I already felt like I'm pregnant by somebody that I don't see a future with. I, you know, then me and him during my pregnancy, me and him wasn't linked up with each other. We wasn't, you know, we was not interacting. We was still involved, but we was not interacting. I did leave him alone and you know go elsewhere. And anyway, and it was just that one moment I was like, where I felt like, I don't know if I want to have this baby. He was like, oh, go ahead. That's when he did said the sacrifice stuff. Oh yeah, go ahead and sacrifice and give him back God, honey. That's all I needed to hear was, and I was like, oh, I snapped out of whatever I was going through. Like, oh, absolutely not. My child gonna make it into this world, even though this world's crazy and screwed up. But yeah. So anyway, that was that or whatever. And you know, we went on and had him or whatever, and then we went on and had another child, another boy, a couple years later, three years later. But so, you know, it's just trying to add that level of stress. Like, you sleeping with her, but you interested in this other girl. I'm not really gonna name their names, but you interested in this other girl. Then that girl trying to disassociate herself from the girl being missing and the child being gone, and it just irks me. It's just like, and somebody said it well. Let me go back. Somebody really like understood and see things the way I see it. I just didn't have the words. They had the words though. Um, I'm trying to pull it up because I want to make sure Did I say exactly what they were saying? But yeah, it's just craziness or whatever. That's why with my situation, when when I did know for sure, okay, he's involved with somebody, and even though he was involved with somebody, that's still 7, 8, 9 years that I've been with him. 2 children later, so even though even if I do know that he's involved with somebody else, cheating on me, or playing her, cheating on her, my that doesn't just go away just that quick. My feelings and stuff like that, my feelings, my thoughts, my emotions, everything, my involvement. Um, Now, me personally, I go into the presence of God. I'm like, okay, Lord, I need deliverance because this is not working. So with that situation, like when in 2018, when I did finally realize and kind of understand that he was involved with somebody else and he hadn't been around me because he was over with somebody else, doing something with somebody else. Um, and then we interacted or whatever during that year, and he let me know, oh, I'm with somebody. He didn't tell me at first. Of course, he was like, oh, my let me let the kids go with me to a friend's house. And then after we interacted, he brought the kids back. Of course, the kids not stupid. They're gonna tell me. And my son told me, Mom, he slept in the room with somebody else, and they closed the door. And I was like, oh, for real? Okay. And because when he came over here to get the kids, he came at me. He ain't just come at me. He pushed me into my room, and of course, do that non-consensual thing. But during the process, it becomes consensual because I'm already, what I'm saying, this is a man that I was in love with and got 2 children with, and I ain't been with nobody else. Like literally, ain't been with nobody else. Period. But he been gone all these months, or whatever. So some can say it's low self-esteem or whatever, whatever, whatever. No, it was me trying to get myself together, and that was just part of the process. But he did that, and then when I ended up talking to the girl, she was like, well, could we have this? And she didn't seem to be in her feelings about it at all. She felt the type of way, but she didn't seem to give a damn. And she was like, well, she made it seem like it was okay. Well, he told me that, so that makes it okay. So when she asked me, well, could your kids have came over here such and such, this and the third, then if we would have talked first, and I was like, no. I said, because for one, he's not going to be going back and forth between me and you. Like, I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna show my kids that. My sons. I mean, I don't want my daughter to see it either, but especially me as a mother, my sons, you think I'm finna... My son came and told me, Mom, I saw him go in the room with you, but then when we went over there, he went in the room with her and they closed the door. Well, thank God they closed the motherfucking door. But still. And I was like, and my son was already, that was the year my son was like, Mom, what does my dad do in the room with you? And I had to give it to him age appropriately, like I had to, regarding, what I'm saying? He needs to know. He was born that way anyway. So he was conceived that way anyway. But, so anyway, I was just like, that's messy. Like, he didn't inform me. And then he turned around and tried to say, yeah, I told you. But no, baby, I keep all receipts where you said friend. And then he turned around and tried to say, oh, I got a good woman at this time. I'm sitting here like, what the? So, he was definitely playing games or whatever. So with that situation, and I hear about it, it adds that stress. But what I was going to say is there was a comment that was saying, this one lady said, Gen Z has got to be the most naive and irresponsible generation. I don't even know which generation we in now. Well, the generation I'm in. I think I'm older than Gen Z, but just barely. She said abortion is not a form of birth control, and I totally agree. Like when you just laying down and having sex, if you think that I'm gonna have sex and we just gonna, if we get pregnant, we gonna abort the baby. You need to kill yourself. Like that's how I feel. Like that is not a form of birth control. But then she went on to say, or this person went on to say, when you can simply prevent a pregnancy by other means. So you can prevent the pregnancy altogether. My thing is, I don't know, I'm just a Bible believing, God fearing woman, and he said be fruitful and multiply. So when he said that, I don't think he meant just to go out here and just spread your seed, and then if you don't like the person or don't want to have the baby with the person, you kill the baby. No, baby, you need to kill yourself. That's like people that, to me, that's like people who commit homicide and then commit suicide. Kill yourself first. Kill yourself first. Then let's see if you're going to get pregnant with these babies that you're going to kill off. That's how I feel. Like I feel passionate about it. Whatever. And so anyway, said you can do it, you can prevent the pregnancy by other means. Then they went on to say the dude is nasty and these women are just as crazy, allowing him to sleep with all them unprotected. That's how I feel too. Like I when I was involved with my boys' dad, and it was the time when he did, keep on bringing a sexually transmitted whatever, and I got tested and I got took the medicine that you're supposed to or whatever, and then he did it again, and then it happened again, and that was my thing, and it almost wanted to drive me crazy to where like this nigga gotta die. But anyway, that didn't occur because for one, I got good common sense, and it's not worth me killing you and then me going to prison because you want to be stupid. It's worth me keeping my legs closed. So that's what I did. And then there's another time when I took some medicine and he came in, and of course it'd be under the guise sometimes of seeing the baby. And of course, again, you're the only one I'm involved with, so I'm already excited to see you. And especially when it had to do, this was early when we first had our first son, and come in and of course he raped me, and I was just like, oh Lord. And so of course that's when I got it again. Another time I had just took the medicine, but I don't think I had been with him for like a month or 2 months or whatever. But so that's my say on that. That person said, secondly, I don't care if he was separated from his wife, because, okay, this dude had a wife, and then it was said he had a wife, he had a girl that he was interested in, and then he got this girl pregnant. So, I don't care if he was separated from his wife. Married men have nothing to offer. I agree. When you're separated, you don't need to be dabbling with another female. And you know what? I will say this, and this is kind of bold for me. I guess if you shouldn't do it either. You shouldn't do that either. I was going to say, I guess if you go hang out and y'all outside the house, yeah, but nah, I just had to renege on that. You shouldn't even do that. You should be trying to work on yourself and either working on your marriage or working on your divorce, I guess. And, hopefully the divorce is because somebody committed adultery or whatever. But anyway, um, so basically just being careless with a so-called commitment and stuff like that. Um, she said one thing before starting. Oh, finish one thing before starting something else. Absolutely. I just wonder how both him and she was saying I wonder how him and the deceased girl said they had nothing going on when they having a baby. Exactly. I say they had a lot going on. The whole thing is like that whole thing was on point when she said that. And it's like, well, she or he. And it's like, and that's what a lot of people are out here doing, just messing over each other, and then these kids come into the world, and then like that's a 2-day old baby that is gone. Thank God it's over for the baby, and because this is a crazy world, and now you ain't got to have no daddy that's sorry as like that. Sorry. Um, but man, just craziness. So that added stress to me, stress and strain, because I'm just sitting here like, wow, y'all really just don't give a damn. And of course, with the whole thing with what I've been going through for the past years, shoot, now it's going on like 2 decades to be honest. Because once I went through it with my daughter's dad, went from like 16, 17, and even the so-called relationships I caught myself in before I linked up with him. And then that's why, now I'm not gonna say I take pride in being alone. I'm just thankful to God that He got me at the place where it's like I'm operating definitely as single, and I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not, but I still have a desire to or whatever, because I think as human beings we want to connect with somebody, and especially me, opposite sex, absolutely. But um, if that's even a thing anymore now that we got non-binary and all whatever else come up. But anyway, whole nother can of worms. So yeah, stressful, bothersome. I don't like it. I don't like that these males get to go out here, and it just really seems like they are just given the go ahead to go out here and impregnate everybody you want to. Do what you want. Of course, he's gonna face consequences for that, but it's just wild. Some of them don't, some of them don't go that far. Some of them don't kill their kids and kill the person that they was involved with, but they just leave them alone and just leave people in a mess and leave stuff in disarray. And it's like, that person just got to pick up the pieces and got to do, what I'm saying? And of course, when I say that person, I am definitely speaking about me. I've been having to pick up the pieces and figure it out and see what's next and all of that, whatever, whatever. Because I didn't, whether I knew better or didn't, but I didn't do better. And and I just knew that this is it. This is it for me. This is for the long haul. It was the long haul, all right. But yeah, so I didn't even finish the last 3 or 4 minutes of the video, so I'm gonna go back and finish that. But I'm just like, wow, like, and so yeah, just to top it off, that's like the icing or whatever on already the cake that's baked and stuff. That car pulled up, and it's like, I've asked this female, can you not? I mean, she didn't park close to my mailbox this time, thank God for that. But I just be like, I see her parking over there all the time. So why don't you keep it like that? Why do you even bother to park over here? And it's like I said, I feel like it'd be a signal for like to get my attention and to get me upset, and it does. It bothers me, and maybe some people think it shouldn't, but it does. Cause I just feel like it's common decency, common sense, and common respect to park where you're visiting at, unless you didn't let the other person know otherwise, or you asked or whatever. And then my thing is, the people that live beside y'all, they do all this, hey boo, all this or whatever, and like they talk to y'all like y'all cool with each other. Why don't every time you get to park in their driveway or you park in front of their house, they're right there, literally beside you? What's the problem? So, to me, I just feel like, hey, y'all know I got the biggest yard, and what I'm saying, y'all know, um, that is just something that irks me, but I don't know. But I just wanted to explain that part because, yeah, that's what I'm feeling. And there's more, but I'm going to just stop right here.